Hello everyone, welcome to Tea with Sparxsys. In this session, let us go through some of the recent updates from the Atlassian ecosystem. Now, if you're new to this channel, do consider subscribing to our Sparxsys channel and also the Ravi Sagar channel, where we talk a lot about Atlassian tools like Jira. Let us go through the updates, recent updates from the Atlassian ecosystem. Now, the first update I have is about Atlassian community. Now, I noticed that Atlassian community has a new look and feel. And if you're new to Atlassian, if you're new to Jira, then I believe Atlassian community is a great resource where not only you can get answers, not only you can ask your questions, but you will also be able to learn a lot. You can also help others. You can also find out about different updates. Of course, in this video, in this session, in this podcast. By the way, this session is also going to be there on our podcast. If you want to just, if you prefer listening. We also talk about a lot related to Atlassian. But on this portal, community.atlassian.com, you will get a lot of updates. And you can also learn about different events. But I think mainly people go to Atlassian community to get help. And if you want to gain more knowledge, you can try to help others because that is how communities work. I used to spend a lot of time on the Atlassian community answering questions. And as a Jira consultant, as a Jira admin, I also learn a lot by just looking at various questions and learning about how people want to use Jira, how they are using Jira. So it's a great resource. And recently I noticed that they have a new homepage, which is great because now it is much more clearer. Like it was not bad earlier, but I think these small updates really affect the way you interact with any portal, right? So do take a look at Atlassian community. Do consider participating, ask questions, and try to also help others. So this is the first update. The second update I have is about hierarchy in Jira. Now we all know that in Jira we have, if you're using Jira Standard, then you have Epic, Story, and Subtask. This is of course one of the standard hierarchy, but if you're using Jira Premium, then you can also create more levels on top of your Epic. So you can have something like outcome, then you can break it down into capabilities, and then you can further break it down into initiatives, and then you can break it down into epics, and then of course stories and subtasks. Now the thing is, if you go to your project's issue tab, or I should say work tab, then you will notice the hierarchy over there as well. So it is not just a flat list of issues. And let me show you, if you are listening to this on our podcast, try going to your project in Jira. So if you're on Jira Cloud, go to any project and go to the issues tab. In my case, it is still not saying work, but on my other Jira instances, and especially the Jira instances that I manage for my clients, especially paid Jira instances, I think they have already changed this. But if you go to your issues tab, it is of course your list of issues within your project, and it is right now showing a flat list. But there is a way to toggle, there is a way to switch to the hierarchy view. Now, if you go to these three dots on the right hand side, under more actions, you can toggle your show hierarchy, and then your list of issues will display your topmost issue type in the hierarchy. Especially in this case, I am just using standard version of Jira. So I have this epic, then I have stories under it, or maybe a task, and I can also of course create a child item. So for example, if I want to create a new, maybe a story under my epic, I can do it straight away. So this is another story, and you can of course interact with your issues. You can create more items. You can of course you can of course update your issues as well. So this is good. This is great, and I like the idea of just switching between a flat list by simply using this toggle. So this is an amazing update, and I really wanted to talk about it because I work with my clients, and I need to tell them. I need to show it to them that yes, you can do this. You can do this from your issues tab or work item tabs within your project. So do take a look at your Jira instance and give it a try. The next update is about the work item. Now the thing is, I think Atlassian has changed this work item to, or issues to work item, I think in most of the Jira instances, but not all. For example, my test instance is still using the term issue, but it is not just about renaming work to, or renaming issues to work. I'm just getting confused. I think it will take some time for me to get used to this new work item. The thing is that this renaming of term is not just a simple rename, but Atlassian is trying to improve the way you get feedback or notification or updates from your issues. For example, if you look at this post here, but don't worry about the link, I'll share the link. And by the way, of course, I'm looking at this update on the Atlassian community. So one more reason, right? You can actually learn about these new things. So if you look at your tab here, it used to say issues, which I just showed you. In my instance, it says issues, but this tab now says all work, right? This is, obvious, but if you do any updates on your issues or work items from your work item tab within a project, it will give you this feedback. 3 work items have been updated, right? It makes sense. I mean, it used to be issues, now it is work items. But if you do an update from within your issue or within your work item, then, for example, in this screenshot, the moment you attach a new file to your work item, you will get this feedback attachment added to not work item, but a task. So basically, Atlassian is trying to improve. I mean, they could have used the term work item, but they want to make it a bit more relevant, right? So it's a good thing. I like the idea. And I mean, not the idea, but I like this change. There is also, other changes. For example, if you get a notification, you will get more context, not custom field context, but more context on what the update is all about. For example, if someone commented on a bug, then it will say commented on a bug. If someone is commenting on a task, then it will say task, and so on. So basically, by looking at these notifications, it is not just a generic notification about issues or work items. They're trying to make it a bit more relevant. So I thought I should talk about it because these small things are not massively noticeable, but because we know that it was not there earlier, so I thought I'll talk about it and I'll show it to you. So do look at your Jira instance and let me know what you see. Do you see these changes or not? Okay, so let us talk about one of the upcoming event. Now, I also started talking about some interesting upcoming events, and this event is a virtual event, but it is managed. It will be organized by Mumbai community. I've been to Mumbai, in fact, many times for work, and I really want to travel there again. I noticed this post or this event because it was posted by Deepak Rai. Deepak Rai is a great resource. He makes a lot of content online, and I believe he's the community leader for Mumbai ACE. And this event, I think for this event, the topic is X-ray, like how to make the most out of your X-ray and Jira snapshots. And it will be presented by Reena Neer. I have met her a few times. She is the CEO of RADB. I've met her here in London, and I think they have made few interesting apps, Jira apps and conference apps. But it looks like an interesting event because when you attend these events, and if you think the topic is relevant, and you want to learn about it, I think within 1 hour you can actually learn a lot. I mean, you can of course not do it on your own, but when you attend an event, when you ask questions, there's always something to learn. So I thought I'll probably talk about this upcoming event. The event is happening on 21st of April. So we have 3 weeks roughly. So do consider attending this event. And let us talk about the video of the week. I recently made a video where I talked about creating charts within your list view. Now let me show you. And if you are listening to this on my podcast, then do give it a try. In case you haven't noticed already, if you go to your list view in your Jira project, within your Jira project, of course you can take a look at your list, right? It is all good. But there is a button here that says view as chart. Now, as a project manager, because I unfortunately have to manage a lot of work, I don't really enjoy doing project management, but I work with project managers and I am responsible to help them get the most out of Jira. Now, let us say you're a project manager and you're just focused on understanding how many items are open, how many items are closed, and how many tickets are assigned to people in my team. So you can click on this view as chart, and then you can simply select here the field that you want to report on. Let us say I want to focus on issue type, and I want to know a breakup of how many issue types are there in my Jira instance. Like if you have the option to use a bar chart, or you also have the option to use a donut chart, which is like a simple pie chart, not a pie chart, but a donut. But you can actually quickly analyze the information. For example, right now in my current list, I have 31 issues. So this will give you the ability to simply focus on it, and you can do a quick analysis by using these options here. Now, great thing is that if you filter, good thing about this chart or this quick chart option here is that you are only working on the list that is currently visible or currently in scope. For example, if I have a filter here, it will, for example, the filter here is assigned to me. And if I clear this filter, it will now talk about the chart will actually show all the issues currently in scope, like 31. And of course, you can do it by status, you can do it by assignee, you can do it by priority, you can do it by reporter. Of course, it is not like a lot, but I think, and I can tell you from my experience that if you are a project manager, majority of the things that we do as a project manager are usually simple. We don't need to it depends. I'm not really saying that don't do advanced reporting, but I think 80% of the project management is all about doing simple counts and numbers, right? Like how many issues are open, how many issues are closed, right? Simple things, because that is how things are. Of course, there are always, a need for advanced reporting. You can, of course, create Jira dashboards, or you can use some other apps, or maybe external apps or external tools to report on Jira data. But from within your project list, you can do some reporting. In this session, I have, of course, talked about it, and I've also shown you, but I also made this video. And I actually wanted to talk about this because not many people are using it yet. It has been there, this feature to create a chart within a list view. I think it's not a new feature, but very few people because I work with project managers, I think only few people know that this can be done. So if you're a project manager, if you're someone who's managing a project, then do try it. It is actually a very nice feature. The next thing that I want to talk about is this blog that we posted about Confluence. Now, not just Confluence, but managing labels in Confluence. Now, Confluence is a nice tool. And in Confluence, to manage your work, to manage your articles, you can add labels, and labels are useful because in a way you can use labels to categorize your content that you are sharing, collaborating with others, right? It's a nice feature to have. And the way labels work in Confluence is, of course, very obvious, nothing too fancy, nothing too complicated, simple labels, you can add labels. But in this blog post, we also talked about how to interact with labels using REST API. using Confluence REST API. So Confluence has a REST API, and people use it. I also use Confluence REST API to do wonderful things. For example, if you want to do something in Jira and we want to pull some numbers and post it to Confluence, you can do that. And not only Jira to Confluence, but you can also do it from any tool to Confluence. So Confluence has REST API and you can use it, you should use it. But in this blog post, we actually talked about how to add a label, how to fetch a label, and how to just interact with your Confluence pages. So do consider reading about this in Confluence, reading this blog post on our website, Sparxsys.com. We actually share quite a lot on our website, Sparxsys.com. And apart from Sparxsys.com, we also post a lot on ravisagar.in, where all of my videos goes. So if you are trying to search for something in Jira, most likely if you go to ravisagar.in website, you will find a lot of content, a lot of videos. And I think that is it. That is all the updates that I have for this week. We have, as I mentioned before, we have resumed making these Atlassian updates videos, and these videos go out, are published on Monday morning. So do consider subscribing to our channel, Sparxsys.com. So yeah, that is all. That is all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast and also reading this post on our website. And by the way, one more thing. If you want to get regular updates from me, I think one of the best and simple way is to subscribe to our newsletter. So we have a newsletter. If you go to sparxsys.com/newsletter, you can, just subscribe, and you will get some updates from us. We don't really post a lot of updates. Like, I don't really think we'll be posting more than one update. One newsletter will be sent out, more than one email. I think it will be always like around one newsletter that will be sent out. So don't worry if you think we are going to spam you. No, we are not going to spam you. We are just going to share these updates and occasionally a few other things, right? So do consider subscribing to our newsletter as well, sparxsys.com/newsletter. All right, that is it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.